Hello, everyone.
Hello, you are ready. You should be ready to go on your end for sharing.
All right, let's see if this works. Hold on. Can you all see that?
We sure can.
Awesome sauce. All right, so understanding how your organization's culture and climate measures up with R&R Equity Concierges. We're going to introduce ourselves in a second, but why R&R Equity Concierges? So we are in the business of hard work. Both of us work with multiple employees and have done a myriad of jobs, but people are our business. And so we care about people and especially leaders, being able to retain talent, being able to make sure that they're the people that they work with feel welcome, safe, and included. And so that's really our business. That I believe we were made to do this just from who we are, how, like the values that we have, our upbringing and just the things that we care about. Like this is our heart's work to make sure that people are in the business well, especially our leaders.
All right, so who we are, we're friends, we're colleagues, and who turned into partners. So I'm Kimberly Fitton, as it says on the bottom of my screen, and you just heard Laura Gray talking. And Laura is the founder of Restorative Community Partners, LLC, and I am the founder of Reset Consulting, LLC. And so we are, like our powers combined, like Captain Planet, a Voltron, or a Power Ranger. We decided to put our powers together and create R&R Equity Concierge as a project that we felt was really needed in the corridor area. Everybody needing growth in a space created with love and empathy, with the best intentions to see people be the best leaders and lead their organizations that they can be.
So experts say.
All right, so we're going to give you we're going to load you with some information. We had to condense it. Note that we are educators, and so pontificating is what we do. And so we've condensed it for you all this morning. But so there are 13 Forbes council members and some who have worked for Google. So if Google is the bar, right? These 13 people said, this is why they have the best corporate culture. And the reasons on the right-hand side: true flexibility, creative freedom, constant innovation, trust, dog-friendly workplaces, a growth and improvement mindset, dedicated on employee happiness. It's a thing, radical candor, and clear purpose. This is what they said, some of the things that this is why Google is the goal, right? Well, if your organization isn't the size of Google, we can still see how these things would be advantageous to the success and sustainability of the organization.
So another thing that employees talked about with why they stay or go, and some of the research we've done, is frustrations around a lack of voice. They're not being included in important decisions. They're not being included in their trajectory within the corporation. And so that's something that even, in looking at smaller companies, not-for-profits, employees said they wish was different.
So hundreds of hours of research and our lived experience, which will spare you all of the many jobs that we've had. Whether your organization is a Fortune 500 or a grassroots organization, non-for-profit, your employees are important to your organization, could either enhance or contaminate your brand. They're expensive because it's time invested, right, in training and building them up and building capacity. They have the power to positively or negatively influence your culture and climate. They will stay in your organization and quietly quit, and maybe using company time and resources to live their best life and find the job of their dreams.
And we don't want that, right? So it really starts with leadership. If you think about it, the leaders set the tone for the organization. And so, in looking at 10 million workers in 150 countries, the leadership behaviors that were most desired and the ones that were most effective included these things. And so do your employees trust you? Do they have psychological safety? Is there an amount of accountability? There has to be this great balance that is attainable in order for your employees to feel safe, welcome, and included.
So using all of that information or research, we identified 5 major areas that impact culture and climate. That's diversity, inclusion, code of ethics, psychological safety, and we will forever hang our hats on that, psychological safety and emotional intelligence.
And so what we want, and we're leading up to this, like what we call a culture and climate calculator, but we want to give a little bit of a disclaimer, right? If you're gonna take it, we don't use the information for anything else. It's, you know, the areas that we're talking about are teachable, observable, and measurable. We won't even be able to see your results. You will have to share your results with us. Do you get what I'm saying? So like at the end, there'll be an ask for us to help go through your results with you and what that might mean and what some next steps for you could be. But we just want to put it out there that we don't save your information or give it to third parties. It takes less than 10 minutes. Again, you will have to be willing to share your results with us in this particular version of this survey.
So just so you know, like if you should choose to take the opportunity to use the calculator, you could score in 3 areas: mastery, proficiency, and approaching. So our recommendations would be based upon, they are research-based. And if you implement a survey for your staff, compare and contrast their experiences in the 5 areas for culture and climate with your perception of your organization's efforts. So there's what you believe, where you score, and then allowing those your employees to have like shared voice in it, so you can get a true perspective of where your organization is at. Assess your exit survey regarding why employees leave, and create a comparable survey for current employees in order to determine, why they stay, because there are things your organization is doing well that should be highlighted as well. And then identify areas for growth and develop a plan of action. So if you decide to take the calculator, know that what you decide to do with that information will be the difference. It will make the difference. It's all about taking the opportunity.
And I'll tell you, I'm the executive director of diversity and cultural responsiveness for a school district. And so, and having multiple even administrators that I'm over and managing and helping and coaching up, I know that my efforts are here. Like, this is what I think I'm doing. If I were to survey them and how they feel my support is landing, or my efforts are landing, there will be a gap. And so this is what we're saying is, like, you can take the survey, that'll be your perspective, but it will be awesome if you can get that perspective from your employees so that you can see where the gap is and then make those changes. And so customization is key. We work with every budget. We work with every type of organization, because we just really want the lives of your employees and your life to get better as leaders. We just believe that, and you might think it's crazy, but we believe that almost utopian type of situation could exist within a corporation, where the employees fully trust their leaders, and their leaders fully trust their employees. It's capable, it's possible. We've done it ourselves with teams. And we've helped other organizations achieve that. So you can see significant growth within a short amount of time.
I do want to say with the calculator, so we did participate in a experiment that taught us where this idea came out of. So the calculator, we beta tested it as an experiment to see how it would go. We have given professional development to all kinds of organizations for the last 5 years, independently and collaboratively. And what we found was, when people focus specifically on DEI and not other areas, thinking if I focus here, it's going to solve all my problems, we're missing the total picture. And because this is hard work for us, I am Iowa born and raised. I'm a product of Iowa. I love Iowa. And we want more diverse populations to stay. And then we understand that it's not by having more diverse populations that the growth happens. It's by equipping all of the people that make Iowa great in order to do that work. And that's no matter what race, no matter what ethnicity, we know that people want what's best for their organizations. And so we can help with on-demand culture and climate training, survey construction, strategic planning, consultation, equity audits. That's some of my faves. Resource connection, that's the concierge, right? When you go to a hotel, they're not going to be a chef. They might not be a chef, but they can tell you where the best restaurants are. And so we believe in working collaboratively, because although we do give a vast array of professional development, we have some friends that do a pretty great job too. And it's about that collaboration and connection, just like you would in your organization, discovering the gifts and talents that exist there and assigning the tasks based upon their expertise. Retention and then group coaching. And you can always see our website for more. Can I just say before we go to the next slide, the calculator takes vulnerability. No one's looking over your shoulder should you choose to take it, but really being vulnerable, really being honest. And then the magic happens when, as Laura said, you open it up to your staff or the people, your business partner, people that you work with, to see their perception, and then growing, seeing it as an opportunity to grow.
So again, we talked about, we know all of you want to do the good thing with your employees as leaders. You want to be good, but what's good is not always right. And so let us help you figure out where your organization is in some of these 5 areas. Let us help you understand how to gain growth in areas that you'll need growth in. Take our equity calculator. So you'll need your phone out so that you can scan this QR code. It'll take you over to the website, and then you'll see where you can take the equity calculators across the top.
You will need to select the menu, and then you'll see it in the drop down. So we'll leave that up there. So, and you can always email us if you would like that. And Laura, I got to give us some props. I did not think we could do it. When Jay said you have this amount of time, it's kind of making me feel awesome.
Well, we got rid of 20
We
slides.
really
so
wanted to hold
the...
you all. Yeah, we really wanted to hold you all captive with our wonderful expertise and our stories. But we did it. So thank you for your time.
So
Right,
please let us know if you, again, are in our equity concierge at gmail.com. Email us if you want more info. We are here to answer any questions you all have.
Well, that's kind of our next step. Does anyone have any questions?
So you said you work with every budget, I guess, but what does your business model look like?
So what we found is like it's different. Like when you say, hold on a second, when you say business model, like ours is a service model. So like you have, if an organization has a point of growth where they want to be developed in, then they have a choice on whether we can give in-person professional development, depending on what they need, right? So some grassroots organizations don't have a large staff and may not have an HR department. So then our expertise would be helping them out there. And that might be just on demand because it could depend upon employee turnover, and just like, is it going to be advantageous for them to spend a certain amount every time they hire someone, or is it going to be more advantageous to their budget and to their sustainability to have an on-demand training? So it depends upon what their needs are. So we go with a consultation first, and then we basically just give them their needs and we work with their budget. So just like any, when we're negotiating a contract, we have our set, and then we listen to what they want, because as Laura said, it's hard to work for us. So it's not just about our bottom line, and yet we are a business, right? So we listen and we give them our rate, and then they tell us, okay, this is what we have the budget for. And then we give them above and beyond for what they get, because our goal is to like support organizations in the corridor area. And we do give trainings for like all over. And then we're invested here as well.
The other piece is, if it doesn't work out, we'll connect you with someone that we trust that may match your budget. Do you get what I'm saying? So we have trusted people in certain areas that we can help you, is what we're saying.
So there's a question in the chat about what is our customer client acquisition strategy like? And so Laura and I have been really fortunate and blessed Like we are the corridor's best secret. So word of mouth is how we have gotten most of our clients. And then acquiring them, I will say this, our personalities are infectious and contagious. So like when I say fortune, I really, really mean like we understand, like as far as marketing, we haven't done a lot of that. But we have helped like with the school districts and organizations that we have helped. We can't really share organization stories because it's a really sensitive area, right? But if we help your organization keep employees, that's going to be life-changing, right? If we help them be seen, that's going to be life-changing. So it's like word of mouth. And then that friend tells a friend that happens to be on a board that happens to do this. And so we've been very fortunate. So if I'm answering honestly, marketing could be is an area of growth for us. So yeah, hopefully we answered that. Yeah. And I do have to add to that question. So one of the things that the DEI work has been done traditionally through guilt, shame, and blame, right? And then there's some of the trainings I've been at with some colleagues where it's like these do's and don'ts. That's not true diversity, equity, and inclusion, because what works for my organization of 30, it may not work for your organization of 150. And so it's like providing this safe container where they can be vulnerable, and making sure that no one's pointing fingers, and that we acknowledge that we are Black women. And so talking about those topics make white people feel like, oh no, I'm being judged. And we say, no, that's not what we're here for. We're here to help your organization. That container that we provide is our greatest client acquisition point. Yeah, go ahead.
I would just say we have enough, we've done it with enough people that you can kind of word of mouth ask about us. We have also testimonial of people thanking us for not feeling targeted, not feeling blamed or judged, because we know that this is sensitive. So we keep your information confidential, and we work with teams to build them up, not break them down. I did get a question in the chat directly asking if we do virtual or hybrid delivery, and we can do anything. So we can come to your staff. The type of work that we do in our 9 to 5, we're able to do some of that stuff. And then also we can do hybrid delivery. We can do virtual. It's just up to what your organization needs are. So that's why a consultation would be awesome. And what types of diversity do we address is the next question that I'm seeing. And like our focus usually is around religion, LGBTQ, race, and exceptionality. We can go beyond those 4, but those are our main 4 that we focus on. So yeah, I hope that answered your question.
There's such an extensive menu, like it would sound like one of my favorite movies. This guy's out on a date with this girl, and he asks what she does, and she goes, I'm a producer, I write my own videos, I'm an actress, I'm a singer, I'm a dancer, I'm a choreographer. This list is long, but just reach out to us and we can share. You can tell us what you need, and if not, as the concierge, we give you information on who can assist as well.
Go ahead.
Hi, I have a question about how you reframe the position of if someone else is winning, it means I'm losing. So how do you reframe that into the win-win?
Well, go ahead, sorry.
If I'm having to share responsibility or give up something maybe that I have so that somebody else feels more included, how do you frame that so that I don't see that as a win-lose, but I can see it as a win-win?
So as Simon Sinek says, revisiting the why is a thing, right? And we don't want to sound cliche, but that the why we're doing this, what you want in your organization, what's the end goal? And then are you really giving it up if it's a gain, right? So most people are willing to collaborate if you identify the talent. And Laura, you can chime in here. So if I go ahead.
I was just going to say, we also strongly suggest you treat all your employees like leaders. And so it's this idea that as a leader, you're making room for other leaders.
Okay, thanks.
Does that make sense?
Does that help?
Yeah, it does.
So one of the things I always like to ask our presenters is, where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years? Where do you see R&R Equity Concierge in the next 3 to 5 years?
Total world domination.
There you go. Nice.
Go
I
ahead.
would
Laura.
love to see us with a brick and mortar location that also houses a retreat space for organizations to come and bring their whole teams and stay, so that they can do 3-4 day boot camps with us, and leave more in community, leave more energized, recharged, and with a wealth of energy to move forward. I would love to see that in Johnson County.
I would also love to see our platform expand so that we can let everybody know about psychological safety. Because when we silo the work of DEI and, like silo the idea of culture and climate just being if we're diverse, if we're equitable and inclusive, we forget that we often tend to like leave others out. The psychological safety has been like a game changer when we talk to our friends, and we've been conducting business with some friends in Minnesota and ended up speaking with like someone on a rep for Target and for Wells Fargo. And this is during the experiment, and we didn't stumble upon it. We had been talking about psychological safety for like a year. And then we understood like by their feedback, just how much this is necessary and important. And I would like to see the calculator move from beta testing to like its own app, its own amazingness, so that organizations can see what they need and decide for themselves. Because this is the other thing Laura and I have experienced, being a part of organizations that spend thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars for this popular, training. And it might not be what their organization even needed. And how can they recoup? And it keeps them from getting the training that they need. So I would like, that's really what I would like, is for more access for people to know about us. And then also to work 3 months out of the year. That would, Laura.
I'll add to that too. I would love for us to be the poster children for builders and backers. Big ups to builders and backers.
Shout out. Woo-hoo.
The Pebble funds to try our first experiment, and have the confidence to go after this idea that we had. It was an amazing experience, things that we're able to use in other parts of our lives and our businesses. And so just want to give big ups. I would love to be the poster children, for us to be the poster children of builders and backers. We'll be like on the cover like this.
Super, super grateful.
I got a question. So you mentioned that you don't have stories from other clients that you worked with because they're sensitive information. I get that. Have you asked some of your previous clients, well, can I share your story, and how much of the story can I share? kind of get them involved in crafting that story, because people love stories.
So we do have stories. We just don't share like the names of the, because it's sensitive stuff, but we do have clients that would be more than willing to be okay with us. Well, we have plenty of stories. And then there's some testimonies on the website from people that have been in our trainings. So we share, we are very much so anecdotal and sharing, because that's how people can be related. So I'm sorry if we weren't clear on that. We share the stories all the time. We just don't say so-and-so from this, because if you have problems retaining people of color, there still might be some trauma, shame associated to that, and we're not trying to damage the work. But does that make sense?
Absolutely.
We also, so we use a restorative approach. We do a push and wrap around approach. That's what we call push and wrap around, is something that Kim and I created. And with that, we use restorative practices in all of our trainings, meaning we do storytelling all the time, just within that team, to build empathy, to build camaraderie and community. And so we have not had organizations on a platform together, but that's something that we talked about in the future, like doing monthly check-ins with the organizations that we're working with, so that they can come together and see each other. And then we would make for more sharing. But I'm all about sharing stories, and I think that it's really rich. And it should happen. We just definitely believe in anonymity.
Any other questions? Any other questions from anyone online? I'm not seeing any other questions, so I will go ahead and ask our traditional final question here at 1 Million Cups, Iowa City. What can we as the community do to help you? And I know you've already answered some of this already, but go ahead.
We would say, go ahead.
I'll go. Okay. I would say, and then you go. Okay. I would say, spread the word, share our email with, if you're not the boss, share it with your boss. If you are the boss, reach out to us. Just inquire how we might be able to, what that could look like to help your organization, but spread the word is what I would ask. Go ahead, Kimberly.
Well, you took the words out of my mouth. I will say, and the reason why I'm spreading the words, like, with your friends that are also in business or people in community, that you're in community with, I bring my problems to the people I'm in community with so that they can help me, point me in the right direction. And our biggest selling point is our authenticity and wanting what's best. And when you know that there's someone invested in Iowa that is not out just for the just for the monetary means, and then the monetary means is a thing, right? It's a business, but like, want to see that growth and want to work and then take pride in, because in what we do from our 9 to 5, our families benefit from organizations who have great cultures and climates. Like, our community benefits from safe spaces. Our community benefits from psychological safety. And I would say this, we know where a lot of bones are buried. And that's a point of pride for us, because it's not about sharing the business and pointing people out. It's about having that internal point of pride and saying, man, it's great to be a part of that. So yes, spread the word. And there's a reason why, because DEI in the heartland is hard work for us.
All right, let's give our presenters another round of applause.